the next few minutes, I'm going to show you something that most people in the make money online space don't want you to know. Not because it's some special secret or something, but because it makes what they're selling completely irrelevant. I'm talking about a specific skill, a skill that any one of you right now could learn, that lets you earn 500 to 1,000 US dollars or pounds from just a single phone conversation. No products, no ads, no showing your face everywhere, no haram or gambling like forex trading, no grey areas. 100% halal. No, maybe it's halal on certain conditions. No, the root of it is halal, all completely halal. But before I show you exactly how this works, let me tell you who this is not for. If you're looking for some passive income hack, not expecting to do any work and be rich in the next month, it's definitely not for you. Or if you want me to promise you riches and amazing cars and amazing lifestyle, this is not for you. Because if you're anything like the people that I've worked with, you've heard all of that before, haven't you? You've spent money, real money, on courses that got you nowhere. You've tried dropshipping, you've watched how to do it, you've done all the ads, but you burned through so much cash. You've looked at crypto and you felt that thing in your stuff, you know what? Is this halal or not? You've seen content creation models that make you put your face all over social media, and you don't want to be doing that. You want to have a private life. And through all of these ventures you've been through, one of the main questions that keeps going on in your mind is this even halal? And you've seen all the programs out there from Muslims nowadays, and they just market their stuff with Islamic verbiage. Akhi, this is halal, mashallah. They use all of these Arabic terms just to put you in as a marketing gimmick. And then you look closer and you find, oh, this is actually dropshipping. Oh, this is actually forex trading. I don't want to be doing this. This is not allowed. And I know that feeling. I know that uncertainty. Lying awake early in the morning thinking, is what I'm doing allowed or not? Or earning haram money that you're going to be spending on your family. Imagine that. But don't worry, what I'm about to show you is different. It's a specific path, a clear skill, a system that connects you directly to companies willing to pay you for the skill that you have. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what this skill is and why everything else you've tried hasn't worked. My name is Shoaib, and I'm going to show you how I went from being in a job that paid me £10 an hour to building life on my own terms and never having to worry about money again. A few years ago, I was standing in the pharmacy where I worked, counting pills, putting them into boxes, distributing them to patients. Fluorescent lights over my head, buzzing everywhere. The smell of disinfectant, the same four walls I'd been staring at for years. Respectable job, degree on the wall, parents were proud. But I was only earning £10 an hour after spending thousands and thousands and thousands on university every year, and only £10 an hour. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. I remember doing the calculation one night, just sitting down and thinking, how on earth I'm saving £50 to £100 every month? How on earth am I going to make enough money to buy a house? How on earth am I going to even make enough money to save up for even a car? I couldn't take a mortgage because that's based on interest and that's not allowed Islamically. I figured out by the time I was old, 50, 60, then maybe I could buy a house. But forget that. That's not what I wanted to do. At that time, my wife was pregnant and I felt the clock ticking. Because when you get married, everything now speeds up. You need to be doing a lot more. I wanted her to have a choice about whether to work or not. I wanted to fully provide for her. I want to be there with my child. And actually there, not just coming back, spending half an hour with them, seeing them in the morning, bye-bye, gotta go to work now. Actually there for the whole day. And I couldn't see how any of that was possible being in my 9-to-5 pharmacy job. Believe me, I tried so many different things. I stayed up until 3 a.m. researching what are the best methods to earn halal income online. Something that I can make money with now, rather than spending months and months and months until I can start making money. I looked at Amazon FBA, but too technical. I didn't want to be doing all this computer stuff. I'm not a tech guy. I looked at Facebook ads, exact same thing. I looked at content creation and blogging at that time. This was back in 2018. And I was thinking it's going to take 12 months until something pops off because you have to go viral on social media and that's difficult. And then I have to plaster my face everywhere. I don't want that. I want a private life. I tried many, many different avenues to make money online. And I remember just sitting down in my car one day and it was raining. And I was thinking, look, you know, I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. I've got a degree, got a job now as a pharmacist, it's respectable. But I'm hardly earning any money. And at that time, I saw other people, children, kids, 16, 17-year-olds, making 5-6 figures a month. And I was like, why am I here in a 9-to-5 job, earning £10 an hour? I'm way more qualified than these guys. And then I came across a video about high ticket sales. At first, I almost just scrolled past, oh, this is just another one of those things again. But something made me stop. The idea was different from anything I'd seen before. There are businesses out there, coaches, consultants, agencies, selling programs, selling services for £3,000, £5,000, £10,000. Most of them are amazing and they're experts and they're brilliant at what they teach. They can genuinely transform people's lives if they apply the content, but they're terrible at sales. They can't turn someone who's interested in their program to someone who's a paying client. They felt awkward asking for money. They don't know how to handle objections, or they're just too busy delivering their program to spend time all day on sales calls. So they hire people to do it. People who can get on calls with interested leads and help allow them to decide whether this program is the right fit for them or not. And guess what? They pay 10 to 20% commission per sale. On a 5k program, that's £500 in your pocket if you sell that person. 10,000 program, that's 1,000 in your pocket if you sell that person. I remember reading that and my chest felt tight. Not with stress, but with something else. Hope. for the first time in months. Because this wasn't about building something from scratch. This wasn't about gambling my money away. This was a genuine skill that I could learn and master. Something that businesses actually needed and would actually pay a lot of money for. So I found a program that taught me about high ticket sales. And I made a decision. For the next few months, my life looked like this. Pharmacy shift, 9 to 5, sometimes come home a bit later. And then my training calls for that, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. UK time. Every night. And then sleep wherever I could. And then go back to work the next day in the morning. My wife thought I'd lost my mind. Some nights she'd come down and say, you know, what are you doing? It's like the middle of the night. But I kept going because for the first time I could actually see a path. And then it happened. My first call, a woman who was interested in a coaching program. 45 minutes on the phone with her. When she said yes, when I heard the words, I'm in, $500, one phone call. I remember my hands shaking after I hung up. Not from nerves, but from disbelief. Like, wow, I've actually made some money. That was more than I made in a week, working 9 to 5. Within 6 weeks, I was making $2,000 a month. And that replaced my income that I got from pharmacy. Just taking a few calls a day. And here's what still gives me the chills. My son was born January 2019. And I was there. Present, fully present, not stressed about money, not checking my phone for work messages, not begging my manager for time off. I was there in the room, present, seeing my baby, watching him come into the world. By September 2019, I'd quit pharmacy completely. And today I've helped generate clients millions of dollars in sales.
Since I've started working with Shoaib, he's been closing people left and right. Today alone, just collected $4,000 cash and I think it's like $36,000 revenue.
I've helped scale businesses with my sales skills from 0 to 120k in 2 months. I'm very good at what I do. And I've trained hundreds of people to become sales reps online, where they're earning 5k, 10k, 20k, even up to 30k a month. But it's not about me. This is about whether this will actually work for you. So I'm going to tell you more about what high ticket sales is. Right now, there's a huge demand. It's going crazy right now. It's a booming industry of coaches, course creators, consultants, service providers, anyone that sells a service online for thousands of pounds. This could be people teaching business, investing, marketing, health and fitness, self-development, any skill that the market desires. You can package it into a program that is thousands of pounds and gives a specific result at the end of a specific time frame. And these programs would cost 3k, 5k, 10k, even up to 100k. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry that's going to be, by 2028, $1 trillion industry. Now, here's the economic reality that some of these businesses face. Problem number one is that their time is worth way too much to be on sales calls themselves. You see, a successful coach, they're selling their program for 10k. Their worth per hour would be £200 to £300. So if they spend 2 hours or 1 hour just trying to sell someone on a call and it doesn't really work out, they've potentially wasted £300 to £600 doing that. It makes more sense for them to pay someone else to do it who's an expert in sales a certain commission, 10%, 15%, 20%, depending on how good they are. So if it's 10%, they would give them £1,000 and they'd spend those hours that they save on the sales calls doing more marketing, getting more people into the ecosystem so they can make more sales, and fulfilling for the client so they can have an amazing product and service, and then they can get more sales through referrals. So for example, in one day of sales calls, let's say you have 10 sales calls, and if I'm not that good at sales, which most business owners, they're not really that good at sales, they'll probably close 2, 3, and they'd make 30k. But now if a closer comes in, they could literally pack out their calendar, they could get a team of closers on, so they're never the bottleneck of their own business, and they can make much more money by hiring that team of salespeople, whilst they can just fully focus on the business and growing. That's why they're more than happy to pay a commission on a win-win basis. You do the sale, the money comes into my bank, then yeah, you can get a bit of it, no problem. Problem number two, most experts are actually terrible at selling themselves. They feel awkward about talking about money. They're experts at what they do. They're experts at solving the problem. They're experts at coaching. But they're just not good at turning those interested people into paying clients. They don't know how to handle objections. They can transform someone's life, but they can't close a deal to save their own. Problem number three, sales is a skill that takes years to master. And most business owners don't have years to master it. They have leads coming in right now that need to be closed so money can come into the business. So what do? They hire closers and they pay well. Here's the truth that makes this make sense. Let's say a business gets 100 leads per month. Without a dedicated closer, they might convert 5-10% of them. With a trained closer, that goes to 15 to 20%. That's 10 to 15 extra sales per month. At £5,000 each, that's £50,000 to £75,000 more than if they were to take the sales calls themselves. And then paying a closer 10 to 20% of that, it's not an expense. It's complete ROI for them. You're not taking money from them. You're making them money that they would not have had otherwise. Now let me address the halal question directly because I know that's on your mind as well. Here's exactly why this is 100% halal. You're helping businesses that are real, serve real customers. The products are legitimate. Coaching, consulting, education, marketing, business, services that genuinely help people. There's no interest involved, no riba, no gambling, no ambiguity, no lying, no deceit, nothing unethical. You're not selling things that people don't need. You're not trying to lie about it so they can make the sale. No. None of that is even allowed in this industry. You're being paid to help people make the right decision for themselves. And if they want to buy, then they go ahead and buy and you get paid a commission. If they don't want to buy, they don't buy. You go on to the next person. This is the process that the customers go through. They watch a video about how this business can help them. They fill out an application to get on a call with you, the high ticket closer, and then they want the thing. But they're nervous. They have fear. They have questions. Will it work for me? And I'm sure you've been in that situation before. They're not sure if it's right for them. Your job is to simply help them figure that out. That's it. That's ethical sales. That's facilitation, not manipulation. This is halal income in its clearest form. You provide value, you make the sale, and you get value back. No grey areas. No, maybe this is okay, I'm not sure. No waking up wondering if you're doing the right thing. Clean income, clear conscience. I know you've probably tried a lot of ways to make money online before, but let me just quickly clarify why they didn't work for you and why those things failed structurally as well. Dropshipping fails because you're fighting a war that you can't win. You're competing against millions of sellers trying to sell the same variation of that thing. You're competing against people with bigger budgets. You're competing against people who will literally send out other people to make negative reviews of you because you're now a competitor of theirs. Your margins get squeezed by ad costs, by supplier issues, by returns and refunds and unhappy customers and negative reviews. You're trying to convince people to buy things they didn't even know that they wanted. That's way more difficult than in high ticket sales convincing people to buy something that they already know they want. With high ticket sales, the demand already exists. Affiliate marketing fails because you're building on an asset that you don't own. You need an audience, you need traffic, you need marketing, you need to create content consistently to convert. And because of that, you're at the mercy of the algorithms that are ever changing. One platform change and your income literally vanishes. Plus the commissions are tiny, a few pounds here and there for a viral video you've taken ages to do. With high ticket closing, clients are provided to you. There's no cold calling. You don't have to go out and look for the leads. You own the skill, and the better you get, the more money you make. You're not at the mercy of any algorithm. Now let's move on to crypto and trading. They fail because they're fundamentally speculation. That's literally what it is. You're betting that prices will move in your favor. That's not income. That's basically gambling with a bit of understanding of financial markets. And for many of us, especially with certain parts of this like forex trading, we know this is haram. There are others that are grey areas like crypto, but we're still doubting. And there's a big scholarly difference of opinion on these. With high ticket closing, you have zero capital to invest up front. You're paid for your time and your skill. There's nothing speculative about it. It's just purely skill-based. Now let's move on to starting a marketing agency, which is quite popular nowadays. That fails because it's actually a full business that you have to create from scratch. It's not a side income type thing. You need to find clients. You need to deliver for those clients. You need to manage operations. You need to hire a team. And usually nowadays, you need to build a personal brand to stand out because there's so many agency owners out there. You need to show your face, create content, be different, all for the public. With high ticket closing, you work behind the scenes. No personal brand required. No public profile required. You're an employee with leverage, not a business owner with headaches. And that last point matters a lot. This path was specifically designed for people who value their privacy. Some of us don't want our faces all over social media. We value our dignity. We want to be to ourselves. We don't want to put it out there all the time. And that's not a limitation in this model. It's a feature. You earn quietly, professionally, behind the scenes. Now, here's what nobody tells you about becoming a high ticket closer. And this is very important, so pay attention. Learning the skill is only half the battle. The real question, the one that stops most people from making any money, is where do you actually find these opportunities where people are hiring high ticket closers, right? Because you can be the best closer in the world, but if you don't have anyone to close for, you don't make any money. Let me tell you what happens when most people try this on their own. They watch YouTube videos, they learn some scripts, maybe they buy a course to help them with their sales skills. They practice in the mirror, they feel ready, and then reality hits. They don't have relationships with businesses. They don't have a track record, no proof, no reliability, no references. So they start sending cold messages to people. Hey, I'm a high ticket closer. Do you need any help? I can close the deals for you. 100 messages, 200 messages, 300 messages. Most get ignored and ghosted. Some reply, no thanks. A few get interviews, and then nothing after that. Because here's the truth. Businesses don't just trust random people with all of that effort they've taken to get people onto a sales call. Would you let some stranger who just messaged you on Instagram that they're an amazing closer take your sales calls for you? Get on calls with your customers who are worth thousands and thousands of pounds? Of course not. You need someone vetted. You need someone highly trained. You need someone that you can trust. And this is the wall most people hit. And most of those high ticket sales trainers out there, they don't know how to get over this wall. They spend 3 months, 6 months, a year in this industry trying to break in, sending messages, trying to get into their first high ticket sales role, and they just get rejected, wondering what they're doing wrong. And eventually they decide to give up, because it doesn't work for them. And they tell themselves that this was just all a scam. But it wasn't a scam. The skill is real. Companies are real. The opportunities are out there. They just didn't have access. And they didn't have knowledge on how to find these roles. And this is exactly what I experienced when I first started. I had the training, I had the skill, I knew I could close. But breaking in, finding that first opportunity, that took me 6 months of grinding. And even after I made it in the industry, I watched other people struggle with the same things. Some people looking for a role for 2 years. People who had the skill but couldn't get in the door. And I thought, there has to be a better way than this. What if you didn't have to figure out this hardest part alone? What if there was a system to get someone from complete newbie and they've trained up in the sales skills so they're actually good? How can we convince these business owners that they're actually good? How can we convince them that, okay, even though they've started from humble beginnings, they're very, very good at the skill now? How can we help with that? What if we helped build relationships with other businesses so that our closers could go into their businesses? What if the training and placement system was part of the same system of learning sales? And that's why I created Closer Portal. The Closer Portal is not just training. It's not just a course you watch, get a bit good at sales, and then you have to figure out everything on your own. No. It's a direct bridge between you and businesses that need closers right now. And here's what this actually means. We have relationships with recruitment agencies, with coaches, with business owners that took years to build. Relationships based on trust, track record, proof. Where these companies need closers, they come to our people, not to online job boards that the public has access to, but exclusively to us as well, where only people who are with the Closer Portal can access. You can learn closing from YouTube. You can buy other courses. You can try and get good at the sales skill by yourself, even though you would still need a sales coach to help tell you if you're good, if you're not good, what feedback you need. You need that confidence behind you. But you cannot ever replicate relationships that took years to build. And that's the asset. That's what you're getting access to. We're going to teach you the skill until you're excellent at what you do and not just some average salesperson. And we're going to help get you into a role that is with established systems where you can earn good money from it. Without Closer Portal, you're basically guessing. With Closer Portal, you have a clear path to success. Now you might be thinking, well, that sounds good, but does it actually work for people like me? Let me show you. This is Akib. Before he found us, Akib was a delivery driver, working part-time while studying at university. No sales experience whatsoever, never ever heard of high-ticket sales, no customer service experience either. He didn't really know what to do with his life. He didn't really like the university path. So I got him into high-ticket sales. I taught him every single thing I knew. Within 3 months, he landed his first ever high-ticket sales offer. He quickly became a top performer. And within the first 8 months of him being on that role, he averaged out 10k a month in earnings per month, commissions coming to him, and he closed $1 million in sales altogether. Then he bought his dream sports car. Crazy how life can change so quickly. But here's what I want you to notice. Akib has been with me for 5 years. Today, 5 years later, he's closing and earning between 12k to 15k a month, traveling the world, living his dream life. Not only does this show you can get to this level very quickly and change your life very quickly, even with no sales experience, it also shows the longevity of this career, because most side hustles fade just like that. This isn't something that disappears. This isn't a fad. Akib has been doing this for 5 years. I've been doing it for 8 years, and he's earning more than ever. Now let's go to Wahid, another student of ours at Closer Portal. His story is very different. He was working a 9-to-5 job in logistics, no sales experience whatsoever, never ever heard of high ticket sales, 34 years old with 3 kids, very busy guy. He joined me in October 2024. He learned all the sales skills, he was very diligent in his learning, and he had his first interview ever in January 2025. And then he landed his role straight after that. And this was with someone I directly hooked him up. In his first 2 weeks, he made a company record and he earned $5,000 in commissions for himself. He was ill the other 2 weeks, otherwise he would have hit the 10k mark in the first month of his role. He quit his job in February of 2025, and then April 2025, still in the same role, taking only 1 to 3 calls a day, earning 10k a month. Imagine that. 1.5 to 2 hours a day on the phone, making $10,000 a month. Crazy. Now he's moving up to a sales manager in the same role. This is all with just his first role, by the way. This is the fast, high earning progression that no other job gives you. What other job, career 9-to-5 out there where you earn 2k, 5k, 10k, like 1 month after the other? There's none. There's nothing like that available. And then there's Shabana. She's a mother of 2 kids, working a 9-to-5 job, no previous sales experience, never heard of high ticket sales. Within 3 weeks of her coming into the Closer Portal, she landed a role as an appointment setter, and she performed it extremely well. And she closed 16 deals in 16 days, earned 5k in her first month, and up to 7k a month as an appointment setter, all whilst raising 2 kids and working a 9-to-5 job. And I want you to think about that. A mother of 2 kids, that's a full-time job in itself. And then on top of that, a full-time 9-to-5. And then on top of that, appointment setting, 7k a month. And she's breaking company records. 3 weeks just learning. What excuse do you have? And another student, Osman, he was a complete introvert. No sales experience before joining, never heard of sales. Landed his first role a few months into the program. Fast forward a year later, he's closed $1 million in sales. And he makes currently, right now, 5k to 7k a month closing as a consistent closer, taking 5 to 7 sales calls a day for a very big Muslim influencer. An introvert, no experience, millions of dollars closed. That's the difference between hoping for change and having a real system for success. Training plus placement. That's what actually works. So let me tell you exactly what you get when you join the Sovereign Closer Mastermind. This is what we call it, because you're going to be sovereign. You're going to be someone who earns on your own terms and lives a life on your own terms. This is a complete training system. You get sales training, you get sales practice, you get coaches, you get one-to-one support, and you get the placement side of things, the recruitment side of things. Component number 1, the complete training system. Every script I use, every objection handler, every single understanding that I've had throughout the past 8 years of dominating in this high-ticket sales space. I'm going to pass that all over to you. This isn't just theory. This is the exact methodologies that I've used. That's generated 8 figures in sales for me. Step by step, module by module, nothing missed out. Designed so you can follow it even if you're a complete beginner in sales. Component number 2, one-on-one coaching. You get personal sessions with our specific one-to-one coach. We work on your specific mental blocks, your specific challenges, your specific voice, the style of communication. We help you stay accountable, because that's where most people fail. They don't keep themselves accountable. And we set you targets weekly so you can get to your first role and earn commission. Component number 3, live group calls 4 times a week, practice sessions, role plays, breakdowns of successful sales calls, real-time feedback. This is where you actually practice and develop the skill now. Not by watching videos, but by doing. You record yourself, we review it, you improve, you repeat, or you can practice live with the coach and he can give you real-time feedback. Component number 4, the job board and recruiter sessions. This is what you cannot get anywhere else. Direct access to companies that need setters and closers desperately. And you get calls with the recruiter who holds one-to-one sessions and who knows these businesses who need setters and closers, and he's going to tell you exactly how to apply to them. He's going to tell you and show you exactly what you need to say in these interviews. And he might even put in a word for you if you're really good. And he provides an internal job board with opportunities that aren't posted publicly. And you can also message him one-to-one messaging access. Any questions you have about applying, just go straight to him and he'll know exactly what to tell you. Component 5, the mastermind community. This is a WhatsApp group full of like-minded students who want to thrive and get to the next level in their life. People who get it, people who are doing it, people who have been through the journey, old students, new students, students who have already got roles, helping new students. Because this journey is never easy when you're doing it alone. It's so easy to give up. And this group is probably one of the best parts of this whole program. Everyone supports each other. You'll create an amazing network of people that you've never had before, Muslims as well. This is one of the cornerstones of success in this program. Now let me show you exactly what happens when you join. What happens when you get into Closer Portal then? There's 2 paths. One is if you're a complete newbie in sales, never done sales before, and the other is if you've done a bit of sales before but in another industry, not in high ticket sales. So let's go through the first part. If you're a complete beginner in high ticket sales, you've never sold anything before, within 4 months you should be able to land your first role and earn commission. How do you get to this level? Very simple. You follow our roadmap to help get you there, and it's all detailed out in the program. And basically what it is that the first few weeks you're going to be learning the sales skill, and you're going to get to a very good level very quickly, depending on the amount of work that you put in and the amount of practice that you put in. And this is completely doable alongside your 9 to 5. So you're going to be learning the skills, you're going to get competent and get confident. Because no one's going to hire you if you don't have a good set of skills on you. So first is the sales skill. Then immediately after that, you want to be applying to the roles that we have in the job board and getting the recruiter to help you do all of that. And then through volume, through high quality, through understanding how the process works, slowly, you're going to improve in your applications, you're going to improve in your interviews, and then you're going to land a role. And that's basically how it works. So within 4 months, that's the goal. If you're already a salesperson, let's say you've worked in insurance or car sales or whatever sales you've done, then the process is much easier. The quickest we've had someone land a role is within 24 hours for someone who's previously a salesperson. So you come into our program, straight away we can help you land a role. For a newbie though, the quickest that has happened is within 16 days. Complete newbie to high ticket sales, never done high ticket sales. We're not saying this is everyone that's going to happen for. It depends on you yourself and how much effort you put into this. Now you're probably wondering, what does this all cost? What's the investment? What's the catch? Let me ask you something. How much would it be worth to you to have a skill that consistently generates you 5k, 10k, 15k, 20k a month? If you went to university to learn a professional skill, you'd spend 3 to 4 years, 30 to 50,000 pounds, or you'd get in a whole load of debt and a lot more money for fees and living costs as well. And at the end, you might land a job paying probably 30k a year, averaging 2k a month. Maybe. Most graduates nowadays, they can't even find a job even 1 to 2 years after their graduation. And that's how bad the UK job market is right now. So what about the other programs that you've tried? How much money have you spent on courses, for example, that just gave you information but no support? How much did you spend on opportunities that left you more confused than before you joined? Now think about what you get here with us at Closer Portal. Training that actually works and is proven, coaching that addresses your specific challenges, and most importantly, help with placement into successful companies. The training is valuable, but the portal, that's irreplaceable, because without us, you're literally on your own. But with us, you have a clear pathway to success. With all that said, how much do you actually think this is worth? 5k, 10k, more maybe? It's definitely worth more than what you'd pay. 100%. But I'm not going to tell you the exact number right now because this isn't for everyone. And I need to make sure it's the absolute right fit for you before we invest. And the reason is because we have a 100% student success rate of people who are landing roles and earning their commission by implementing everything that we tell them to do. And we don't want that ruined at all. But what I will tell you is this. The investment is less than what 1 month's commission could get you. And it's protected as well. And here's my promise, and I want to be very specific so there's no ambiguity around this. If you join, you complete all the training modules, you're ticked off on your one-to-ones and you're doing everything that we say, and you're attending at least 80% of the live calls, and you're applying to the number of opportunities that we tell you to apply to every day, and you don't land a paid closing role within 120 days of working with us, then we keep working with you until you do. Because I know most of you have commitments. I know some of you get ill during the four months that you're working with us. We will continue working with you until you do. This is what I call the no student left behind promise. We will not leave you behind like the other programs that you've invested in. We will make sure that you hit your target of landing a role and earning your first commission. That's not a vague, oh, we'll help you out. No, we are committed to make sure that you land a role and make money. That's a real commitment that we have from me to you. Why can I make that promise? Because I know the system works. I've worked with hundreds of students. It works, it works, it works. The only way it doesn't work is if you just don't follow it, or you just can't be asked, or you're lazy, or you don't follow through, or you're too scared to implement what we say. So if you do your part, I'll do mine. That's how it works. So here's where you're at. You've seen how this works. You understand why this is different. You know what's possible. Now you have a choice. Option 1, do it alone. Close this video. Go back to YouTube or wherever you research your stuff. Watch some more free content like you've been doing for the past few years. Try to piece together scripts from random videos. I know, I used to try the same thing. Practice in the mirror. Have no one give you feedback. Have no actual sales expert overlooking you. Send hundreds of cold messages to business owners begging for a role so that you can make your first commissions in this industry. Some people make it work eventually, maybe after a year, but most don't. 99.99999% won't ever make it. Most give up after a few months of rejection because it's too much to take. And you've got other commitments and responsibilities. And you can't keep doing something if it's just not working. Option 2, you get the training and the access through Closer Portal. You join a system that actually works. You get trained by someone who's done it. You get placed with companies that are actually hiring, and you start earning. Training, practice, placement, income. If you're ready to take option 2, simply click the button below right now. Fill out the application. It just takes a minute or so. A few questions about where you are, what you're looking for, why you think this could work. If you're approved, we'll set up a call with either myself or someone from the team. Not a high pressure sales pitch. We're not trying to convince you of anything. We just want to see if this makes sense for you. This is actually the right fit. I want to preserve my 100% success rate. I want to make sure you're someone who actually wants to build a real skill. Doesn't just want to make 10k in the next month and do nothing to earn it. This isn't for everyone, as I've said. I'm looking for people who are serious about making money. Not people who fantasize over it. Not people who dream over it and do nothing. But people who will show up and stay persistent even when it gets going hard. People who will do the work. If that's you, click the button right now and I'll see you on the other side. Oh, you're still here. That's good. That actually tells me something about you. Because most people, they've probably clicked off by now, probably gone back to what they were doing. And a lot of people have applied as well. But you're someone special. You're still thinking about some questions. Maybe something's holding you back. So let me address those questions and complaints now. I've been burned before. I've spent money on things and they just haven't worked. This is a common complaint that I hear. And I understand it. I've been burned before as well. There's been at least 3 or 4 programs that I've invested in that have just turned into nothing. And some of them were outright scams as well. And I was left very, very disappointed. But I am where I am now because I continued on. I didn't say that was enough. I didn't give up. I kept going. That's why now, alhamdulillah, I'm able to make even 6 figures a month because of learning this one sales skill. And remember my promise to you, no student will be left behind. That means what? You're going to land a role and you're going to earn commission. How much commission? I don't know. That depends on you and your skill level. That depends on where you are at that particular time. How many calls you're taking. How good are you? How much is the price of the products and services that you're selling? But you will make money and you will improve from there. And we're going to help you do that. We're not going to leave you behind. This is not just a course with videos and information like most courses out there, and then they remove access and then just leave you to yourself. No way. We're Muslim here. We're ethical. Another question. I'm not good at sales. I'm not pushy. I'm not that type of person. Perfect. Good question. And here's something that you might not have considered. The best closers are not pushy. They're not unethical. They're not high pressure. They're not super crazily extrovert. They help people make the right decision. They ask questions that guide the prospect to making the right decision. You're not tricking people. You're not manipulating anyone. You don't need to be an amazing orator. I used to stutter when I first got into high ticket sales. That's what I used to do. You can ask my friends and family. I was an introvert. I used to be anxious, getting on the phone, ordering a takeaway for my family. I used to be like, okay, what am I going to say? Oh, I need to rehearse it. Yeah, that's how I used to be. I learned out of that. I taught myself how to get out of that. I learned communication. I learned sales. I became competent. Then I became confident. So all you need to do is just learn this skill properly. And that's what we help you do in Closer Portal. I don't have time. This is another common complaint. I built this working a 9 to 5 pharmacy job, being on call as well, working basically 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning. And then I had trainings for learning sales at 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. When something matters enough, you will find the time. If the pain of you being stuck in your job or you not being able to earn the money that you want to earn so you can live the life that you want to live is really at that high level, is a great level of pain, you're going to find the time. If you're comfortable where you are, you probably won't find the time. And this probably won't be the best fit for you. But by the way, this is only a few hours a week training. It's not going to take 10 hours a day. It's just consistent effort. Persistent. That's all it takes. And as you imagine fitting that into your schedule, maybe an hour before work, an hour after, you might find that it's more possible. The next question, is this actually halal? Yes, 100%. You're just a sales agent working for a business, helping them sell their stuff. As long as that thing is not haram, that product in and of itself is not haram, you're completely fine. And most 95, 96, 97% of products in this industry are halal because it's education. As long as it's not teaching you how to do haram things, you're completely fine. What if it doesn't work for me? You don't want to start with this mindset because any opportunity that comes to you, you're always going to say, what if it doesn't work? You'll never go for it. And you'll be probably watching another video like this a year later. You don't want to do that to yourself. The best way to think is base your decisions on where you want to be. Do you want to be stuck where you are right now? Or do you want to be where I am? Make 5 figures a month, work remote from home, be with your kids, do the passion projects that you'd always love to do, but you just can't do now because you're stuck at work and you don't have finances. Going to different countries all the time. What would you rather have? So believe in yourself. Think to yourself, I will make this work. Think from a position of strength, not a position of weakness and fear. How fast will I see results? Most people who follow the system, within 4 months, you're going to land a role and start earning your first commission. Some do it faster. Some do it within 3 to 5 weeks. Some do it within 2 to 3 months. It's all dependent on you yourself, how much time you have available. How long does it take you to acquire these skills? For some people, it takes longer. Some people, it's a bit simpler for them. It all depends on all of these varying factors, but predominantly it's down to you. We have the syllabus there. It's just like teacher in the classroom. They teach the same syllabus. Some people come out with A stars and A's. Other people come out with B's and C's. And then there's other people that come out as complete failures. It's all dependent on the person and how serious they take it. But if you do the work, you will get there. Thinking does not change your situation, my friend. Action does. The application literally takes 2 minutes. You don't need to think about filling out an application. Just fill it out. Have a conversation, we'll see if it's a good fit. And look, at the end of the day, you can keep doing what you're doing. No problem, it doesn't affect me. But I know it affects you. This is why you're listening to this right now. So you can keep researching, keep wasting time, essentially, because that's what it is. Or you can decide right now to be different. One day or day one. Click the button, fill out the application, let's have a conversation, and I'll see you inside, inshallah.